welcome to Just Drinking Problems. We have CP for round two and his beautiful queen, Desert, for the first time appearance on Just Drinking Problems. And you've seen her before in past episodes. Finally, a return from Miss Sexy. And I'm Blake Rebel, also AKA known as SexxySilver in the Whatnot world. And this is our first podcast that we've ever done two couples together, or any more than just two people at a time. So this is really exciting. But even more exciting than that, we finally found the perfect couple to fill us all in on what we've always wanted to know. I'm talking not just for myself, but anyone who's ever seen any of my shows. We finally got the experts. I literally had to pay them like $5 each just to do this. So could you tell us what's the secret to being swingers? I mean, y'all have been in it for a long time, and we just want to know what's it like? How'd you get started? All the things.
You got to start out with a swing, okay?
Like backyard time, front porch. I don't know. I mean, whatever location you like best. I don't know.
But then you got to have a swing though.
Okay, got it. Good deal. No, they're not swingers, or at least they haven't told me that. But we are glad to have them here. And man, that's some sexy shirts, though.
That's right.
Look at that. Yeah. And we have them too. Look, I'm a part of that CP fan club, bro.
And Desertwillow.
Yeah, all these shirts were made by Desert. So if you ever want some shirts, check out her bin. If you're on the Whatnot, if you're not on the Whatnot, get on the Whatnot. Then check out her bin.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
All right. Now we can start for real. I had to hit y'all with something, and y'all took it like champs. So
we always got jokes.
Oh yeah, it makes me think of hit him with the old razzle dazzle.
Oh yeah, your last show, I heard you got all the new hip lingo.
Oh, I'm trying to be cool like the young kids.
You're
I'm not good at it, but.
What is a Sigma? I've been trying to figure it out.
Sigma is like good. It's like you're an alpha, you're a cool guy, you're a trendsetter. Skibbity toilet, Ohio Riz, that's not good, apparently.
Okay.
Whatever all that
I couldn't tell.
What the Sigma mean?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Okay.
I need to look that one up.
We're going to have to do another podcast with our kids.
Yeah. I'm good educated. They need the Thoris or something.
Yeah, something.
So I gotta know. I've seen y'all live streaming, and everything looks so great, so natural. How did y'all get started? Who approached who? What'd you say? When did y'all exchange digits? How did this whole Desert CP thing get going?
He started it. I mean,
it's all his fault.
Now, if you're talking about the us together thing, oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. We worked together at Best Buy, and I was about to take a break, and I went to go buy a drink.
Was it the Geek Squad? Were y'all in the Geek Squad?
No. He was better than Geek Squad.
But anyway, so I went to go get a drink for my break, and I was still drunk.
And I was the cashier.
Yeah, she was like the hot cashier at the front. I'm like, I'm gonna get in her line. I'm gonna talk to her, and I completely goofed it. I was like, man, this Coke would go so much better with some whiskey.
And I was like, okay, 217, sir.
She was not having it. So yeah, I completely goofed that, and I got lucky.
I don't know.
I got lucky. She still gave me a shot.
Yeah, well, we became friends, and then he wore me down, so,
Persistence. No, I like it. So you literally made the Best Buy at Best Buy.
and I'm still paying for it.
That's true.
Do they have a railway there? I feel like you just did it.
But as for if we're talking about Whatnot, so I started out first, and again, it was because I think I told you on the last podcast, it was because my brother was like, yeah, Whatnot, they have comic books. That's where I do most of my stuff, where I buy most of my comics.
Yeah.
And then he's like, they do coins as well, because he'd obviously known I was getting into coins. He's like, they do coins as well. So I got into it. and then started selling. And then she actually started out with jewelry.
Yeah, that
So
was a
like she was
major
doing
fail.
like women's category stuff, and so
Yeah,
she ran like probably 5 or 6 shows, and
it was bad.
she only was selling to like the same 5 people,
Yeah,
and
my father-in-law.
4 of them were family.
Yeah, exactly. It was not great.
So and one of the things I told her was like, hey, why don't you do coins? Like, why don't you sell some of the stuff that I have? I guarantee it'll sell a lot better with you doing it
And I was like,
than me.
whatever.
And she's like, whatever. And I'm like, no, I mean, guys are stupid. Like, you throw a pretty girl on screen and, hey, buy this wheat penny that's worth 15 cents. They're going to buy it for $5 every time. And and so she did a show, and it went really well. And she's like, I like that. That was fun. I actually had auctions going. Maybe I should do another one. And she did one by herself. I was at work, and I was like, hey, run it for this. And she wasn't paying attention to the chat. And so like she ran like a key date buffalo nickel, buck and go, and it went for $2. And it was like an $80 coin.
That's probably not true. Don't listen to him.
And so
I don't think that's true.
but the guy that got it actually hooked her up, tipped her, said, hey,
Oh, Fire Dog.
yeah, that's right, Fire Dog did that.
That's true.
And so, but it's one of those things where it was like a learning experience for her, a learning experience for me, that I need to put away some of the key date stuff so she don't run it without me.
Gotta hide the
it needs
stash.
something, a star, a light, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Warning sign.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I put stars on stuff now so she knows, okay, maybe I need to ask a price on this.
Or a price on the bottom, which is my
which is what we can't do anymore on that platform. But
that's true. That's true.
She definitely did that last time. You exited the room for a while, and somebody was asking her to run a piece of gold, and nothing happened. I got 2 things though. One, obviously the 3 of us are streamers, right? I think we should convince someone else, bring someone new, and just basically use the same approach y'all did. Like when someone's like, I got a key date nickel here, and like no one cares, I got a key date nickel. You want to buy it? Like, fuck yeah, dude. Give me them. You know what I mean?
No, for me it's
we should do it.
No, for me it's like, you guys know what this is. You want it, right? Okay, start.
Look, you already had it prepared. We have nothing up here on this table. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of being on camera, and I'm gonna mess it up. I don't know what I'm doing. And then for him to run the show, he has to have me on the computer. And so I feel like I'd just be all over the place, and I'm just gonna end up giving away something, and then he's gonna get mad. So I'm just like, no, I just do the computer.
It works out. It works out.
I mean, I'll hold stuff, or if he has to go pee or refill his tea, then I'll get up there and do something. And I still half the time I'm like, all right, what are we doing here? I get one thing on the running, and then he's back. Because I'm like, all right, 1 second, guys. I gotta go over here and press this button. Think I'm still holding?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What are we doing?
It's fun though. It works out.
I bet that's on purpose though, right? Like, hold on, I gotta go get this button. So all I have to do is run one item, right?
Yeah.
And then you're done.
I mean, whatever works.
I don't want to run without her just because, people who do it by themselves, I'm like, I don't know how they do it, because I would be too confused trying to go back and forth running the show while also entertaining the camera. And I just, it's more fun having somebody in both jobs than by themselves. So,
oh yeah.
Our setup too isn't designed. It's designed for 2 people, not 1.
Yeah.
So the camera and the table's over here, and then the computer's over here.
Yeah.
And then as far as he just doesn't, not necessarily take the time, but it's much more time consuming to run auction 1, 2, 3 and label everything and get all that, when it's just, I guess, easier for me to just put the name and put it all in a bag, and him not have to worry about it.
Well, I did my first show. I did half of it by myself, and I was a nervous wreck. And then she came in and starting the auctions, and labeling the bags and putting things away. And I'm like, I'm not doing this without you. So it's a big deal now.
You're a part of this now.
Got roped into something else.
Yeah, well, and he does most of his shows by himself. And like sometimes I'll be in there and just like take his stuff and put him in bags, but that's like all he'll let me do. He won't let me help him out like starting the giveaways or auction or nothing like that because he's like, I got a system. Okay, you're gonna mess it up. Okay. But for me, I'm like, I'm the whatever. I'm like the go with the flow. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. And so I just like, here we go, run it. Wrap my sticker. Here you go. And he does everything else.
And when I step away, we end up with like a big pile of coins on the desk next to her.
Not a
And
big
so,
pile.
so then
not
I'm
a
over
big
there. I'm trying to. Okay, this name is here. Got to drop it in this bag. So yeah, if she ran a show by herself,
And it was fine.
and
It was fine.
she sent the wrong package to 2 different people.
What? The first time I was alone. That was it. Can I get a little grace for my first time? Okay.
Look,
Otherwise, I'm fine.
after every show, he's like, babe, why is this person's name on this bag? And then there's another name on the other side of the Ziploc. And I'm like, well, probably because I started writing one thing and then I flipped it over, but that person already has a bag. So I'm pretty sure, I mean, I put it in the right bag because like I have like a little filing basket thing and I have like A through Z. And like, so,
Yeah.
you know, if somebody bought them, like, oh wait, I already made them a Ziploc. And so I'll go and put it in there and then, you know, I just flipped it over and I write somebody else's name on this one. Or he's like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm missing this person. I don't think that goes. And he like has to go back and like watch the whole show to figure out what I did wrong. And I'm like,
Yeah, video receipts.
oh, I didn't mean
Oh,
to
yeah.
do that. My bad.
Sorry.
And like that's my only job. So like I can't imagine trying to do it by myself.
Can all be daddy.
True. Very true.
So less about whatnot, more about you two. Who would you say is the easiest to get along? Like go along, get along, don't start the fights. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Desmond takes that. Who would you say wears the pants?
Sorry, son. I'm sorry, what?
You're good.
He wants to be on a podcast?
I know.
All right, come on, son, real quick.
Come here. Come say hi.
What's up, dude?
Hi. Hey bud, how are you?
He's gonna get shy now.
I know. Okay, can you just
I would be. Okay, go on.
Okay, bye.
So who wears the pants?
We share it. I guess we share it.
So easiest to get along with, easygoing, like just win others over. It's her, 100%. As for who wears the pants, I mean, really the decisions, it gets ran through each other.
Yeah.
I mean,
50-50.
you know, there's rarely a decision that I make that I don't run through her or vice versa. And usually if it is, it's like I 100% know she's going to be like, we're good.
Yeah.
You know, I think with her, she probably doesn't do that as much as I do.
And like small things. I mean, he'll be like, hey, do you mind if I go buy a new pair of shoes? I'm like, no, I don't care. But every time. And me, I'll just be like, I don't even say, look at the new shoes I bought. I just get them and go.
Dude, we're the same way, and I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Anyway.
It's got to be like a female thing because like, I mean, like I'm not going to go and spend $500 and like not talk to him about it first. But like we had a beach trip and I got new swimsuits and I'm like, showed them to him after. He's like, oh, well, you didn't tell me you were getting those. And I'm like,
well, when I can't find the front door behind the Amazon boxes, I'm like, what's going on?
the majority of them were yours. What are you talking about?
But I told you about those, okay?
Oh, okay.
So how long have y'all been together?
She doesn't remember.
Since 2009.
Are you sure it's 2009?
Yes, because I moved here in 2008.
Are you sure?
15 years?
I'm sure.
So
I'm sure.
So we've been married going on 13 years. We've been together about 15 years.
16.
Ish.
I mean,
15 and a half.
This is what I do. I'm like, okay, I'm about to be 37 and I was 20 when we started dating. So 17.
Work.
That's my math.
Yeah. Well, y'all definitely make a great couple and you look very happy. So
Thanks.
15, 17, it really doesn't matter. Past a
Thanks.
decade, like what's the difference?
Yeah,
Oh,
truly.
yeah. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Going on 10. Going on 10. Married going on 10. So
we
9
got-
years married. What?
We got married in 16.
December of 16.
So, next year in December we'll make a decade. So almost there, almost to 10
There you
years.
go.
And then we were together for like a year before that. So
Yeah.
It was quick.
Well, when you know, you know. I mean,
I took my time. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we were engaged for a year before we got married. So
I think we were
Yeah,
dating
and
for
then
6 months and we moved in together. Basically, her house was bigger and she made more money than me. And I was like, fucking sold, dude. Watch out, I'm moving in.
yeah,
ever.
like he's the one like leaving his toothbrush here and there and like slowly moving in and
I left a couple pairs of socks.
Well, it ended up being where it made more sense just to move in with each other. And like, you never know if it's going to work out or not. But
yeah,
neither one of us slept because we spent so much time trying to go to work and go to each other's places, like
yeah,
nonstop. We're like, and then when you're actually like, I don't want to leave, I don't want you to go, and then you stay up till 3 a.m. Like, I got to go to work at like 7 in the morning. What the fuck are we doing?
yeah,
We might as well live together so
Mhm.
we can sleep together and actually sleep. So that kind of
yeah.
happened.
There you
And
go.
it worked out.
It worked out. There you go.
Now he's trapped.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. No, so we actually didn't live together until after we got married. So
Oh, okay.
that brings up a
First
good
year-
point. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. What was that?
But we're heathens, and then y'all did it correctly. So tell us about that.
I mean, let's be real. That's the only thing we didn't do. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, he would stay over at my apartment a lot of nights. So I mean, you know.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna go home. I'm just gonna sleep here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to talk about like a rough first year. That if you don't live together before you're married, it definitely makes it for a rough first year.
Yeah.
Because you're learning all the habits that you don't like about the other person.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
so-
very different in
That's
a
one
lot
of
of
the-
areas. So.
That's one of the things that him and I kind of talked about because we had both been married before and divorced, of course. And
Don't count.
yeah, we don't even
Canceled.
exactly. But like if we're gonna do this again, like not getting divorced, like I'm not going through all that BS and the drama and the legality of
Mhm.
everything and just put my hair in my face. So we had kind of said, we were gonna move in together and that way make sure we could handle each other's quirks, so
Hey.
to speak, and really like make sure this is what we want to do before we, trap each
Oh
other.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at. I wanted to know how long y'all had been together, and it's great that y'all have been together longer than we have. Because I was going to ask you, like, do you have any marital advice? Because as a father, and it's Father's Day today, I would think that when
Father's Day, by the way.
yeah, happy
Happy
Father's
Oh,
Day,
Hey,
bro.
thank
Happy
you.
Father's Day.
and happy Father's Day to you, sir.
Thank you. When it comes to giving advice to your kids, and because honestly, I think every relationship you ever have fails until that one that doesn't, and you wind up like us,
Mhm.
right? So, what advice would you give your kids? Because then you have to really think about it, because you actually like really care about them, and not like that one friend that cannot keep
Oh yeah.
somebody around for longer than 6 months. So, I would tell
Yeah.
them like, first, don't get married till you're 25. Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
And then live with that person for a year. And I know that goes against some people's like religious beliefs and stuff, and that's fine if they want to do something different. But to me,
Yeah.
when you go through all 4 seasons, family events, holidays, sick, and vacations, and the weather changes, like whatever, you go through it at least 1 year, and y'all still both crazy about each other, you got a good
Mhm.
chance of making it. But y'all didn't do that. So what was the hard part about that first year?
Mm, I feel like the hard part was realizing how much you don't know about the other person in terms of like how they literally live. Like in our case, again, I'm a very like I'm cool with whatever, whatever, everything's fine. And he's like no, everything has a purpose, a reason, and all of that. So, and at the time, I hated it. I went against it. I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like, and he's like, no, it's not. And then learning, I feel like we both eventually met in the middle where it's like, I had to try to figure out why does that mean so much to him, and then like, oh, actually that makes sense, and then for him to be like, okay, I can chill on some stuff. I don't have to be, upset every time she does something wrong or doesn't, put something away the way I like it or whatever.
Leaves the light on. He still gets on me on it.
So, I mean, I feel like that was the hardest part of the first year is just, how each other likes everything, your routine or lack thereof. So, I think that was the hardest part.
So one
Yeah,
has rituals and one's a free spirit.
Sure, yeah.
that was, and my mom tells her all the time it's her fault because I was on a schedule. Like I ate at a certain time, I napped at a certain time, I got a bath at a certain time when I was a baby, and she's like, it stayed with you, and it has stayed with you your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very much a routine guy. Like I don't like changes to the routine. Like I get up at 5 o'clock every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and don't change that routine on me. And if I sleep in, it's because I choose to sleep in. And
which is never.
Yeah, exactly. Which is never. Like 7 o'clock is sleeping in for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, I had to learn like, okay, not everything's gonna go as planned with this woman next to my side. Like it's gonna, like some stuff's gonna be chaotic. Some stuff is gonna be, we're just not gonna make that time, that I said we need to get there by or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like the advice would be is to learn how to accept change.
Yeah.
And learn how to compromise.
Yeah.
Because when you are married, that's probably the biggest thing, and that's the biggest challenge I think for any married couple is to learn how to compromise.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost 30 years old when we got married, so
I was so much younger.
Yeah.
So much younger.
Mm-hmm. But it was one of those things like you think about a guy that's 30 years old, pretty much set in his ways, and I had to learn like, okay, I just can't be set that way all the time. And, I had to learn how, like, okay, if I'm going to make her happy and her being happy is going to make me happy, I got to make that adjustment. So.
Okay, so you were structured and disciplined, and then you brought in a wild child. It makes sense.
And what's funny is I was not a wild child. I grew up with a stepdad who was very like crazy, overbearing, manipulative, psycho, ended up marrying my sister. And yes.
Hey guys, for real.
Jerry Springer over here.
That next.
Wait, what state are you from?
I was born here, but all that happened in Florida.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
It does make sense, yeah. And that's where he's from. So in home life was insane for me. So whenever I escaped from there, I was very much like, absolutely not. Like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and I'm going to be, everything's fine. Like, because he was like, you have to be cleaning at all times. Like, if you're, like, I never sat down and watched TV. Like, it was like, I mean, we were scrubbing baseboards, and it was psycho, for real. And so, I'm like, absolutely not. And then somehow he is nowhere near that. I'm just saying I ended up being attracted to someone who did also like things a certain way.
But I would say that your dad was kind of the same way too, though.
I wouldn't know. I didn't grow up with my dad, so.
I mean, just kind of being around him. I mean, you think about like when we went to go do like lunches or dinners and stuff like that with him, it was like, all right, be here at 3 because we're going to be eating at 3, and we get there at 2:30, and at 3 o'clock we're eating.
Yeah.
So he was very much. I would say he was more like a schedule kind of guy, not necessarily a routine kind of guy.
Yeah, not psycho like my stepdad.
And then because he owned his own construction business, so a lot of that is you have to have stuff timed up. You gotta you have somebody go pour concrete. It's timed, right? They have only so much time they can have that concrete in that truck. So he was very much time structured, but not necessarily like like a routine.
Like that,
like he definitely would be okay with like, I know what, today we're gonna do this instead. So
he was he was a little more laid back like me, and if something happens, like, it's fine. It's gonna be fine. Are you alive? Are you hurt? Are we good? We're good. It's fine. We're gonna figure it out. So
Kind of sounds like your
so yeah.
Cinderella. His upbringing. You know what I mean? With the whole step. Okay. Anyway, so
Oh no, I get it. It was crazy.
I kind of think maybe that might be a winning recipe because you kind of have both sides, right?
Oh yeah.
You got the one that's more structured and drives a straight line. You got the free spirit that can kind of like, hey, we're good. Don't worry about it. Let's just have a good
Yeah.
time. And then when they come together, there's a happy medium. Maybe.
Oh yeah. I think so. And I mean, I think if I was, you had kind of asked this question earlier, like, what would you tell your children? And my advice would always be to them, the falling in love, the getting married, that's all the fun, the easy stuff. But to have a marriage last, it's going to be choosing to. Like, let's be real. Every day, every year is not easy. You come across all kinds of challenges in your marriage that maybe even you think, I would never put up with that. You know what I mean? Like, but when you love somebody and you choose that person and you choose, like, I don't want to get a divorce from this person, and whatever. You make the choice and you show up, and when you forgive, you really forgive, you move on. Let's not, to live in the past, for whatever it is. And so I think when you choose that person, that's when it can be good. So
It's a work in progress always. It's never
always.
fairy tales and happy endings and all the things that you see on TV. That's not real life or real marriage.
Exactly.
Hey, but speaking of happy endings,
Oh my
tonight,
gosh.
My
But
man.
I would say that I love this person so much more than the person even that I married. You know what I mean? Like, as you grow, when both parties choose to grow and look out for each other and change stuff for each other, and it, I don't know, it's just so much better.
Man,
So
y'all take Venmo? I gotta pay for this marriage counseling. This is good shit.
well, I adore my mom, but sometimes your upbringing makes things really important in your life. Like my poor mom, she has been done wrong so many times, obviously, if her last husband left her for her daughter. But she had a lot of men who were terrible to her. And so, and I was like, I don't want that for me. I'm gonna find a man who's this, and this, and we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna stay together. You know what I mean? So, so yeah, and his parents have always been married, and they toughed it out, and they said, we're doing this, and so we were both on that same page where it's like, you don't get to divorce me. So
Commitment.
You're stuck, is what I always tell him.
you're stuck. That's right.
I mean, she has the option to leave at any point in time that she wants to, but I hope that she never does.
Well, same.
Because it'd be hell. It'd be tough. Just again, I'm a routine guy, so not just because she's routine, but I love her to death. But that would change my whole routine, and it would make life miserable for me. So I mean, outside of routine though, like this woman has stuck by me through so much stuff. We've had a lot of we've had some stuff happen, like with her dad dying, like suddenly, like we didn't expect it.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where it's like, okay, let's what do you need from me, and then find out what she needs from me, and then I found out like, hey, I need this from you too.
Yeah.
Because I have both of my parents. I'm very fortunate, and
I love them. We are fortunate.
I'm very fortunate, and so I don't understand the pain and loss that she went through. But because she's gone through it, I think it's brought us closer together.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that I was there for support, and then I realized like there was some things that I guess like hurt for me that I didn't realize until I felt like maybe she moved a little bit into her grieving process. Then I started to grieve, and then I told her, hey, this is like, I feel terrible for this, and I wish that me and her dad would have had a little bit different relationship than what we had, and we didn't have a terrible one,
Yeah.
but we had
not a close
we had a
one.
couple things that we weren't necessarily the closest, and I kind of wished it happened, but
Yeah.
but after it was all said and done, it's like, okay, like we've been through some tough times, and we've been able to get through it together, and so I feel like no matter what happens in our future, as long as we're together and as long as we're both pulling at the same time or both pushing at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
we're never going to have an issue where
It just can't be resolved.
it's everything will be resolved. They're like divorce. Really, honestly, it's not in our vocabulary. We kind of joke around about it, like,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
leave me anytime. But
Yeah.
we like when we have serious discussions. It's even when we
That's
have
never. Yeah.
even when we've had arguments, it's like, no, we need to get divorced. Never,
Never.
absolutely never.
Yeah.
And so. And I would say probably one of the biggest things that I'm so happy that is never an argument with us is money.
Thankfully, yeah.
Because and that's one of the things that growing up, my parents again they started out poor. Like we lived in a house that my grandfather actually co-signed for my parents to get into, and I mean this thing was a beam platform house. So there was spots in the floor where like there was no floor. We could literally get under the house if we wanted to. And then our roof was corrugated steel. And we had a spot that my parents literally put a tub under. So when it rained, it caught all the rainwater. I remember this stuff as a kid. And so I remember like their struggles with me growing up, money was an argument for them at times. And I thought to myself, I'll never argue about money. Like money comes and it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to argue about it. And that's one of the things that I've told her, like, I'll never fight with you about money.
Yeah.
Because it's not worth it, and that's something I learned from watching my parents, and I think that was a big thing that helped with my marriage is if we're going to fight about something, we're going to fight about something big. It's going to be, did we disagree on how we discipline our kids, or, did we disagree on, I mean, as petty as it sounds, like when she talks about stuff she had to learn, like we disagreed on where the pots and pans went and where the cooking utensils went, because I did most of the cooking and she would wash and she just put them wherever. And I'm like, no, that's not where I need them. I need them here because this is where I cook.
Again,
so
his way made sense, but for me, I'm like, what does it matter? It's put away.
So that was like, like I said, that for me, it was a worthwhile argument at the time, right? But again, that was learn, grow, compromise, change, and it kind of went both ways, and now that I guess really not now, because now that she does most of the cooking, she understands like everything's kind of set up the way I would have set it up, because at the time when we first got married, I did about 80% of the cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those things where okay, hey, the kitchen, please set it up the way I want.
Yeah, made sense. Bathroom,
bedroom, kids' room, however you want. I don't care. Just the kitchen. I spend most of my time in there. Let's just keep it that way. So but again, it was one of those things where we butt heads on it, but then it was, let's step back, let's talk about what I need, let's talk about what you need.
Yeah.
And let's go from there. So, and that's, like I said, that was probably going to be the biggest advice I'll give my kids is like, figure out a way to compromise, figure out a way to communicate too, because communication's huge. If you can't communicate with the other person, man, you're in for it.
Then you're gonna be roommates.
Yeah, I would say I have this theory about all relationships, but especially marriage. If you can get 3 things right, everything else will work itself out. Almost like it's the easy button. If you just have money, sex, and communication figured out, everything else is small fries.
Oh yeah.
You hear that? Happy ending.
For real. Because honestly, when you hear about, oh, so and so got divorced, well, why? It's probably going to be in one of those 3 categories.
Absolutely.
That's
very true.
I do really love hearing y'all's perspective, and it kind of sounds like maybe one's more logical, one's more emotional, and we can probably see who's
Definitely.
who. But more importantly, who cooks better?
Him. By far, truly.
Chicken fried steak, right here.
Or my son says, chicken floppas. But they're chicken flautas, but there's a few things that I'm like, okay, I cooked that pretty good, but most of it is him.
Oven pizza.
Oh my, you're a jerk. How about you guys?
So she could definitely cook better. I'm not a cook.
He wasn't allowed in the kitchen until recently.
Oh,
And I say
why?
that with lots of love, but what was it? I think he burnt spaghetti noodles on the stove at one point. Like,
You get upset about cast iron. If the shit don't go in the dishwasher, why do we own it?
Because it's so good. It's
Anyway.
amazing.
Trash. I'm not burning a campfire. Like, it goes in the dishwasher for a reason.
you can't cook in cast iron anymore because it goes in the dishwasher after. So it just stays in the cabinet.
Hey, don't. Hey, there was lessons learned.
Yes.
With cast iron.
But I have come to love and respect cast irons.
So if I do very little cooking, and I kind of make it up myself. So yeah, you have like, if you have a dog, you buy dog food. A cat, you buy cat food. Well, I cook Blake food. So basically, I hunt in the backyard. I'll kill a deer and process, put it in the freezer. And we always got meat. So I'll take some meat, and to me, all cooking is apply heat, then eat. So I'll cook some meat, and I'll throw in green beans, peas, corn, carrots, mushrooms, chestnuts, broccoli. Like, I'll put it all in there, and then I'll kind of like put a couple of packets of seasoning, or maybe I'll mix a couple that I know I like together, and then I stir it all, and then I'll put the lid on, let it steam, and like after an hour or two, the shit's good, and I can eat on it for a week.
You never know what you're gonna get.
That's cooking. That's what else do you do? That's cooking.
So what you're saying is we need to watch like YouTube videos of you doing like crock pot recipes, right?
There you go.
Making it up. I found this in the pantry, so this is part of the recipe now.
Yeah, that's what we should do. Get you to do YouTube videos with crock pot recipes.
Yeah, what's in the fridge? What's in the pantry?
Yeah, but she can actually make like a normal meal, so that's nice sometimes.
There you go. Sometimes. Oh my gosh.
So, don't say if it's not personal, but how many kids?
2.
2 kids. Okay, gotcha. Did y'all ever like think when y'all were dating, like, man, we want 4, or we want no kids, and then like you just wound up with 2, or that was all the plan?
Kids were always the plan. On both of us, always. I mean, we were honest from the beginning. Like, we both want kids, and so I think we were both kind of like in the 2 or 3. You know, that's what we want. Neither one of us were like, let's have 5 or 6. Because I'm from a lot of kids. I'm one of a bunch of kids, and I was like, that's not happening.
Well, you have 2. It's never too late for another.
Okay, funny you say that.
Really?
She's not pregnant.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay, you guys, this is
great way to tell
really
family
funny.
On Just Drinking Problems podcast. We're having
I know.
Yay!
His older brother, and he's only older by like 18 months, but his older brother and his wife, they have 3 kids, and the youngest just graduated high school, and they just found out they're pregnant. I know. And they're running
over, huh? They were like so close to being free.
I'm sorry for them. That hurts me.
But you guys, for years now, they've been like, hey, we'll have another one if you guys have another one, because I'm like the youngest wife, I guess, of the whatever, and they're like, Danielle, come on, like, you can have another one, like, we need another baby around here. And it was really hard for us to like get and stay pregnant, so we're like blessed with 2. And so that, we were like, maybe we're fine with 2. So anyway, so the joke was always like, okay, if you guys have another one, then we'll have another one. And they are gonna have another one.
Now it's your turn. What are you like, 30?
Me? I'm 30. I'm about to be 37.
Well,
I'm 30. She's 37.
No, he's
okay,
like
gotcha.
He's like 45.
I'm not 45. Come on now. I'll be 43 in August.
Okay, well,
And
Sometimes practice makes perfect. Y'all did it twice. The third time could be the perfect angel child, and it doesn't hurt to practice.
we already have two like amazing kids. So my worry is if we did say let's have a third, what if they are like out of their mind crazy and we're like, what have we done?
Well, you got two babysitters. There you go.
So yeah, no, that's the thing I joke around and I tell people like marriage advice: don't have kids in the first year of marriage.
Facts.
Do things together, travel, do that sort of stuff, and then don't have more than 2 kids. You outnumber the parents, you mess up.
I
Which I'm
like
like,
that math.
whatever, that's fine. I mean, but so I have a sister. She's a stepsister, and she just had her 8th child. And they're the kind of people who are like, however many God blesses us with. And I'm like, all right, I love Jesus, but I don't think that's how that works. I think having kids intentionally is the same thing as any other sin that people are going to bring up. You know what I mean? So it's like, I love her, but her kids scare me, is all I'm going to say. There's so many of them. And yeah.
Does she have a farm?
No.
Okay. Well, I can't justify it then.
And she homeschools them.
Wow.
So they're home with their mom all day, every day. And she's not a patient person. So
I guess
when you're
not.
on the
That's
phone with
what I
her,
want.
I know. And so when you're on the phone with her, it's almost like Tourette's. Like she'll be like, oh, hey, so what are you doing? You know, and you're like, oh my gosh. Like it's just yelling at the kids. And I mean, she'll say wild stuff sometimes, like, go outside. I don't want to see your face right now. And I'm like, I would never say that to my kid. So I'm like, there's too many kids. You
Yeah.
can have too many kids. And it's like, you want to raise up good human beings that are going to do good for the world, not have as many people as you can, you know.
I like it.
Quality, not quantity.
Agreed. Speaking of kids, who's the disciplinarian?
Okay, that role has kind of changed recently. Not
Really?
recently. Well, I won't say recently, over the past few years. So, you know, when you're a new parent, it's hard. Okay. And I was very much the like, oh my gosh, no, like they're crying, like, come on, and he's just like, let them figure it out a little bit. Like, it's gonna be okay. And so, same thing, like, we've kind of met in the middle with that as well. Like, I feel like his patience with our son was hard for him because he was a little bit more wild. And, you know, I'm like, he's just a baby, just like leave him alone. And he's like, he's old enough to know better, you know what I mean? And so, now, you know, I became more of like, you know, nope, this is how we're doing it, this and that. And he's just like, he'll be like, come here, buddy, like, talk to me, you know, let's figure it out. And I'm like, what? No, it's so good though. Like our son is amazing. He's a great communicator. It's awesome. Like it's really cool. So I'd say finally now we share it, but it definitely used to be him. Except with our daughter, that was all me.
Yeah, and even so our daughter's the oldest, and I mean it's been I mean easy. Like it's like and I know it's probably gonna change. She's 11. And I know it's probably gonna change in the next year or two. So it's like I'm gonna take advantage of the next year or two and let her be her and just enjoy her being just a great kid.
Yeah.
And you know, and of course, you know, I think it may be like a dad thing with the boys. You know, you gotta be a little bit tougher on the boys, you know, like you gotta be tough. And so, you know, I think that's part of it. Like initially was like, okay. And then something that was told to us by their doctor at one point in time was who they are at 2 is gonna be who they are for the rest of their life. So I'm like, yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah. So I was like, 2 years old, they're going to be set straight. Like they're not going to misbehave. I want them to be respectful and all that sort of stuff. And so again, you know, a little bit younger, I was, you know, a little bit tougher on him.
Yeah.
It's more him than her, because she was the one, discipline with our daughter. It fell on both of us, but she was more active with
I
that.
was a hoarder. I was like a hover mom, so I was always like, I got her, you know.
And so, but yeah, the roles, I won't say have changed, because when I got to get on to either one of the kids, like
Oh
if it's
yeah,
it's like my son, I'm like, ooh boy, and then he's like instant like, whoop, I didn't do it, or
right.
I'm done, I'm not gonna do it anymore. And then of course with my daughter, I just got to give her a look, and she's like, okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop.
She's a little more hard headed, but I will say one thing that I have learned. Okay, I was always scared to have a boy because I have other brothers, but what my mom had, it was 5 kids and 1 boy, and my stepdad was absolutely horrible to my brother, like because he was the boy, all the things that you could do wrong with a boy, like it was horrible. He was so mean to him, and so I was like, I don't want a boy because I don't want I don't want them to be like too hard on him. Like they can cry, like they can have feelings, I guess is what I'm getting at. And so that was what I held on to with him when I'd be like, don't be so hard on him. He's little, you know? But I realized something that is actually really magical for dads with their sons. And I actually really appreciate it now. Like baseball, our son did t-ball, and the first like season it was like, oh my gosh, he's just like kicking dirt, whatever. He's little, okay, but he wanted to do it again. And so he was like, all right, you're going to learn. And so, you know, and at first I was like, oh, you're being too mean. You're being too hard on him. But I watched him. I stepped back, I quit saying stuff, and I watched him be very firm with him on like how he needs to do everything, right? Like how you hold the bat, how you whatever. And then by the end of it, when that boy would do it right and he would compliment him, it was like you could it was like Christmas times 1,000 on that kid's face. Like the approval of dad was like, oh my gosh, but you got to earn that. And I realized that it's so special. Like a dad, like how they are with their kids is so important, and it's so special. And I'm so thankful. And I'm glad that I made myself shut up and just let him do this thing, and it was beautiful. And that's in everything that boy does now. Like he looks to dad for approval, you know, and I'm just like, it's amazing. So
Well,
I'm
someone's
sorry, I feel
got
like
to
we're talking too much.
someone's got to be the loving nurturer, no matter what. It's okay kind of person. And someone needs to set some type of boundary or standard or achievable goal. And like it takes both. That's why I think when it comes to marriage and raising children, you really do need both perspectives. And men and women are different, and so are boys and girls. And the
Hmm.
roles in bringing up a good person, like you said, in the world, I think it actually does take both, because there's some things that we're hardwired to do that you
Yeah.
just can't. And there's some things that you're hardwired
Yeah.
to do that we just can't. So
Hmm.
having both available to the kid is best. And I don't know the numbers, but you can look up the statistics. Who's going to be homeless? Who's going to be in prison? It's the kids that grow up without both.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So I'm guessing you're the disciplinary at home?
Well,
Yeah.
um, she tries sometimes, and it's cute, you know.
It's
And
cute.
my favorite thing is like our 5-year-old. He can be moody or get an attitude or be determined that he's going to do whatever he thinks he's going to do, and she'll ask him multiple times, which already. And I will look around the corner, and then he behaves great, and I'm like,
I
"Did my
love
job."
that. Exactly.
Or
Exactly.
I don't even have to be in the room. I go, "Problem solved."
I have to say, I'm sure you feel the same way. I actually really appreciate that. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, go in there and use your dad voice because I cannot right now. And he'll
Dad
go in there
voice.
and be like, what's going on?
But I'm doing it when she starts yelling. Why are you yelling?
Oh, yeah. He'll be like, don't talk to my boy like that. I'm like, hey, I need you right now.
Well, kinda like that whole two-year-old thing that you're talking about. It started out really early. Like, there are laws in this house that will never change. And then there's rules, and rules are made to be broken sometimes. So as long as you don't touch those laws, we're going to be
Yeah.
good. I'm not emotional about it. Like, I'm steady Eddie, you know. Is that funny?
I don't think I've ever heard you say steady Eddie.
I was trying to, okay, anyway, trying to
He's trying
portray
something
that
new.
if you don't touch those laws, I'm not going to get upset because I expect him to do the things that he's going to do or is doing or has done. Like, if he didn't do
Yeah.
those things, I'd be like, this kid's an alien. Weird, right? But I want him to do those things because you don't learn anything in life without making the mistakes, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So I want him to make the mistakes. I know he's going to do something dumb and get hurt. I know he's going to break something. I know he's going to, whatever it is, I'm just waiting on him to do it because I already know it's going to
Yeah.
happen. So I'm not going to get upset about it. But we're not going to do it twice. So after we do it, we're going to have a talk. And if you didn't learn from the talk, well, then now I got to be daddy. And because I think that I take a logical approach to being a disciplinarian, he knows that I'm serious. I'm also the one that he'll walk up to and just jump on me while I'm trying to watch TV laying on the couch unexpectedly. Like,
Yes.
get out of here, ninja. You know, like I'm the one he wants to wrestle with. He wants to steal my hat off my head. He wants to make fun of me. He wants to, we're roughhouse, we're boys.
He'll run up and ask, "Can I kick you?"
Shit. Yeah, but we don't do that with mama. We do not do that with mama. You can punch me in my face and I'm gonna get you. We don't do that with
Yeah.
mama. Right. So that's from
Yeah.
the laws, right? And as long as we stay within our parameters, we're gonna be just fine. But
Yeah.
because we've gotten out of those parameters sometimes, I've had to do the things that I've had to do, all it takes is a look or a snap, which is why he can hear that snap. I literally think it's like training a puppy. You know what I mean? It's no different. He could talk, a puppy
Truly.
can't talk. That's it. But
Yeah.
you have to have that. Otherwise, you try to go to a restaurant. You're in a store in a checkout line. Like everyone hates you because you're a kid. So you need it. You need the person where when he don't feel good or he's feeling tired or something, he goes cuddle up with her. Right? I'm like, you don't love daddy? No. He goes get mama.
He does that too.
So I don't know. I think it takes both, and
Definitely.
I can't be it all. She can't be it all.
Exactly. Definitely. Love it.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think they're going to be when they grow up?
Man, I wish I could tell you, but I really don't know. And I say that because, especially our daughter, she is so good at so many things, and her mind changes, and we're just very encouraging with that because it's like, girl, you're 11. It's okay. Like, you don't have to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
I do think she will be a boss, whatever she does. She is a leader. She likes things her way. She's very meticulous with the way she does things too. And so and she's a very much yeah, no, my way's better. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but that's wrong.
But is she right?
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
mean, she's my daughter, so I think yes. But no, I mean, she's just one of those people where it's like anything she takes on, she could do. So, I think he said, she's talked about veterinarian. She's talked about being an artist. So I don't know. Our son, I don't know. I mean, he loves sports right now. I can't tell you with him because he's 7.
But he's big. So
he's a giant.
I mean, yeah, if he continues to be the size that he is,
NFL contract.
he'll end up probably playing some sort of sport. He's huge. Gets it from her side, believe it or not. She's itty bitty, but her side of the family, they're all giants.
My mom's side, yeah. So, but what about your son? What do you guys think?
Well, I'm thinking when your son gets that NFL contract, let us in the suite, bro. I'm trying to party too.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll still be friends.
Still work at McDonald's
That's what he said.
or at Donald's because
Yes.
you can't do the mix.
All the free chicken nuggets, right?
Exactly.
He wants to work there.
What was it before that? He was going to do God, what was it? I can't remember, but it happens to be like whatever he's into at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's Happy Meals.
Yes. Because they
Yeah,
have
right
like
now,
the Roblox, and then before that it was whatever
Pokemon
thing that he liked and all that. So like he wants to go work at McDonald's so he can get the toys.
He gets the commercials. So then, like, we can't drive down the road, and they put them stupid McDonald's signs so high in the air.
Right?
Like,
oh, yeah,
McDonald's.
They did do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Like driving down the
definitely.
interstate.
And I hate McDonald's.
Yeah,
I got-
we're so tired of McDonald's.
Right?
We have McDonald's so much, too.
Once a week, McDonald's, like,
Sometimes
has to happen. Has to happen. I'm like, can we just get some regular old chicken nuggets and just cook them at the house? And my son's okay with it, but my daughter, no.
Nope, she was eating like Chick-fil-A nuggets.
What?
Like,
Those
I
are
know.
better.
Oh, thank you. But you said something about your son wanting to work at McDonald's, and lately our son has said he wants to be a YouTuber. So maybe you can help him with that.
Streamer.
He wants, and he wants to make videos of himself playing games.
Dude, I told Blake he should do that with like our 5-year-old because like first off, we have 2 boys. Bray he's older, 14, you know. So little man wants to do everything Bubba does. And when Bray was little, he would have his phone, his Switch, and his TV, and he would watch the games, watch the YouTube stuff, and then also be like playing the game between his Switch and his phone and whatnot. Ryder does the exact same thing. It is like
that's cute.
the funniest thing, but he still doesn't get that he can like talk
Internal voice.
Like has that internal voice, you know. And I forget what age that it is. He may not be quite there yet. So he narrates everything, and he'll be sitting on the couch, and he's like, "Oh, dude, no! Oh, gonna go to the back room or the back door, and oh, Huggy's gonna get me," and like all this kind of stuff. And he's like, "Whatcha?" And he's just like.
Did you say bitches?
No, I said, I don't know.
Probably, huh?
Well, but like you hear him, and I'm like, dude, this would be like so funny, like just to have like the screen record and then his voice. Like we didn't have to put him on TV, but like it was just like the cutest thing. And then some of it, I'm like, all right, you can't say that, dude. Because, you know, Roblox, you know, you can hear what other people say, and it's older kids and younger kids. So we've like had to like figure out how to turn that function off or whatever it was.
If you're not watching it, it could sound crazy. And like half of it's funny because he's ours. But the other half is like, oh, I fell down, I'm going to die.
Yes. Yes. Or he's like, oh, I broke 82 bones. I'm like, what are you doing? Just literally, you jump off of something and you see how many bones you break.
Like, I know. Our son loves that one. You know what's funny was, okay, so our son, he was a little bit behind in, like, I should say speech, like talking right, because he had problems with his ears and whatever. So he's almost caught up now. Like, he's very smart, but sometimes he talks like a robot and it makes me laugh, or he talks like English is his second language. Like, he was playing a game. It's one of those, is it the Oculus?
Oh, yeah, VR.
That's cool.
And I don't know what he was playing. And he's talking to the other people that are playing. And he's like, I will show none of the mercy. And I'm like, who says that? I will show none of the mercy. But yes, just hearing them narrate when they play is so funny. That would do well.
Yeah, I've thought about it. But I don't think he's quite old enough because I'm like, bro, we're trying to make content, man. Need you focus. Like, if I'm gonna care, like then I'm gonna care, and we're not there yet. We'll see.
I hear you. Yeah.
My I think he just turned 15. 15-year-old for the longest time said he was going to be in the NBA, and you can look at the statistics of all the people who play basketball when they're children. That the percentage is like less than 1%. Actually making professional sports. And he was like negative 100% because he's like short. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, you ain't got it, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Ain't gonna happen. He's like, yeah, but there's just one guy, and he's shorter than the rest of them, and he's like, he gets 20 million a year. Like, that would be sweet, hook daddy up. I hope good luck to you. But now we focused to where now we want to be a pilot, and I was like, all right, we can work on that.
There you
We can
go.
do that.
That's
Yeah,
really cool.
you can actually get your pilot's license when you're 16 in this country, which is pretty cool.
That's a
You-
little scary.
Yeah, you can actually start with instruction. I think at 14. I got a friend that he worked for Southwest, and his son has his full on license now, and I think he's 17, but he started like 3 years ago.
I'm not into that. I'm already scared of plane rides, so
Well,
So
absolutely not.
I have a question. So I noticed your profile picture here on the app that we're on. You're on the tail of a helicopter. Am I right?
yes.
Okay. So what did you do in the military?
So I started out, actually joined when I was a junior in high school, and there was like 1 week in a month we would do some training stuff or whatever until I actually graduated, and then the government can own me. Basic and AIT, I came home for 2 months, and then went to Iraq, and then I came back, and I was a crew chief, is what they call it, on a UH-60, a Black Hawk. And basically, like, you're a glorified mechanic because yes, you do like airframe maintenance, but then you also are part of the flight crew. So in a Black Hawk, you have two pilots and you have two door gunners when you're overseas, but when you're not, there's no guns. So you basically run around and do everything the pilots don't do because their little princess asses stay in their seats, and then like you secure the cargo and you secure the packs, or if we're fighting wildfires, you're working the Bambi bucket, or like whatever's going on. The crew chiefs basically do everything else, and I did that for almost a decade. I was like, all right, I'm over it. I'm either getting out or going to flight school. And because the government likes, to waste money on things, they sent me to flight school. So then I flew for a little bit, went back to Iraq, Kuwait, Jordan, Syria. And that's when Ryder was born. And I was like, I'm really done now. So I actually just got
Oh,
out last
yeah.
year, and I'm happy now. So there's that. So I did some things, saw some things, met some really cool people. Like one of my best friends ever. We were in flight school together. Bet.
We
that-
were
And
wondering if
that's
that's
what I was
how.
thinking. I was like, you know what? I bet you they served together.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Actually, we were in flight school together. It's what they call stick buddies. I know, gay, but that's what they call it because you fly helicopters with sticks, right? And like our families met each other, we'd hang out and all the things. And now, probably like once a year, we get on a plane and visit each other. But we actually graduated flight school, went to our separate units, and then we actually met up again while we were deployed to Iraq. Because,
That's cool.
yeah, when you're part of air crew, you like to jump around a lot. And then I was like, bro, look who. So it was kind of neat. We met up a few times. So that was it. I basically spent all my time around helicopters.
Okay.
That's really cool.
Well, again, like always, thank you for your service.
Yes.
It was a job, man. And I appreciate you saying that. And I definitely, I support the troops and everything they do. But honestly, man, I don't know where I would be if I wouldn't have done it. And even more so now. Can you imagine somebody graduating high school now and trying to build a life? Like, it gets harder every year. And
Yeah.
I was high school. I had no, unless you're trying to bust tables, I had no experience, in the real world. I
Yeah.
didn't even understand what the real world was. Um,
hmm
so that was a way for me to leave hometown, figure something out, actually make a paycheck. And it turned into, you know, a useful life experience.
That's so cool. I just think about you lived in such a different world. You know what I mean? We're over here like checking people out at Best Buy, and you're in Iraq. Like what? You know what I mean? It's so crazy to me.
Well,
You
according to
know.
CP, you could pick up some pretty nice things at Best Buy.
I mean, you know, I've gotten some really good laptops and TVs and stuff there.
True that. That's where we shop for all of our
Oh, we know what you were checking
electronics.
out. Don't worry.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I was more of like a this Lone Ranger in the wind, just living life to the fullest. And then somebody decided to friend me on Facebook.
Oh, here we go.
Aww. That's how you guys met?
We
Yeah,
went to junior high together.
that's true.
Oh,
We rode the same
Sheila,
school
come
bus.
on. I knew you
Yes.
before that.
We went to junior high together. We lived in the same neighborhood for, I don't know, years. And
Totally not into it. She was taller than me with short hair, and I was like, man.
whatever. So
You should never say that.
way back
He's just
when,
being honest.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. He was like
Well, look at
dated
you
one of my
now.
friends anyway, so it was weird.
Go ahead, right.
Sorry.
I'll let her tell the story, and then I'll tell the truth.
Oh, whatever.
Okay, sounds good. Let's hear it.
So he likes to tell everybody that, I hit him up and he finally just was like, fine, I'll talk to you, whatever. But do y'all remember when Facebook connected to your phone way back when and it asked you like, oh, like, do you want to ask your contacts, like with the cell phone numbers, whatever, like to be your friend request? Well, this was when it first like came out or something like that. And I said, sure. So it sent a friend request to every phone number I've ever had in my phone, like that was on Facebook. And I just said yes, and it sent to all. I didn't go through and like try to select whoever. And so he got a friend request, and then he messaged me. Okay, I didn't message him first. He messaged me, and then we started talking on Facebook, and then we rented a movie and like hung out, and that was pretty much the end of it. He was stuck. He was infatuated. He just loved me so much.
I believe
He
that.
won't let me go.
I believe it.
Well, I remember
How hard I might be.
the junior high girl on the school bus, and then when somehow her phone and Facebook, because I didn't have her number, so questions. I realized that this 25-year-old nurse in scrubs with long hair, looking fine as fuck, trying to hit me up. I was like, shit, I gotta jump on that, dude. And then we went on a coffee date, and then I actually figured out who the fuck she was, and I was sold. So there's that.
Aw, that's so cute.
Yep, and then here we are, still trying to be cute with gray hair and all.
Oh, I love it. You guys really seem like an amazing couple. I love it so much.
I carry her. Actually, honestly, other than all the things we've already talked about, like the advice we would give our kids on marriage, I would, find somebody like her because it works out, and we actually work together now, both from home. So if you ever need an escape, you ain't got one. You know what I mean? So like, if we weren't
Don't do that. Is
good
what you're saying.
together,
No, I'm
we
just
wouldn't be together. Like this was the ultimate test. We took a leap of faith in a ton of ways, and so far so good.
Yeah, it's
Well,
been,
good.
what, almost a year and a half now?
Over 2 years.
No, I'm talking about since we've both been full time from home.
Oh yeah, maybe a year and a half, a little more.
He's not tired of me yet, so I guess it's a good thing.
There you go. And do you guys like live near town, or are you guys kind of like out in the boonies, so you're like stuck
Both.
with each other?
I mean, we live right near town. We could go down the road, we just don't. I mean, Walmart delivers, so
Well,
works out.
well, I said earlier, shoot deer in the backyard. So we're surrounded by woods, and if you didn't know we lived here or look us up on Google Maps or something, you can't see our house. We're kind of back in the sticks.
Okay, that's
But
cool.
in 5 minutes we can be in like 30 different restaurants or Bass Pro or Walmart,
Oh, there
gas
you go.
stations, whatever.
Nice. Okay. So
But
I tried to do that, but somebody wanted to live closer to town.
oh my gosh, here we go. Okay, one day, hopefully in the next couple years, we'll move to some land. I'm sorry.
yes, that's our plan too. We want to get away. But I will say
Not
we're kind of
too far
spoiled
away.
now.
Yeah.
We are still like I can if I want a hat, I want a watch, pair of shoes, Amazon. Groceries, Walmart delivery, bring it on. You know what I mean? Like we've
Yeah.
even been so lazy. They were like, "Hey, you want Taco Bell? Yeah. You want to go? No. DoorDash."
There you go.
No. Life's
Oh
fun.
yeah.
You gotta enjoy it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, I'm trying to think. What's I've been asking all kind of questions. I want to hear you ask one.
See, this is why I don't do stuff on camera. Because when he says like, "Hey, it's your turn now," I'm like,
Well,
but
come on. You've done stuff on camera. Come on.
Mhm. Oh, shoot.
totally insinuating stuff there. Okay, I'm just gonna let it go.
You don't know if I'm joking or not.
I know.
You'll never know. Hey, if you promote it, you can make more money.
Yeah,
I've actually been thinking about the OnlyFans thing because the business plan is remarkable. I just, if I only had 3 toes, I'd feel like I can break it into a new market.
True. Chop a few off. There you go.
Unfortunately, I got 5 and they're hairy, so I'm just out of luck.
Just remove a few, then you're fine. You're good.
Okay.
or get you like a prosthesis to like web them together. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get creative. Maybe I could 3D print me a nice foot.
There you go. There you go.
So, and you can't say us. It's against the rules. And I'm putting y'all on the spot. Who's y'all's favorite streamer?
Hmm.
I mean, you know, I'm always in the red chat, and I'm always trying to get somebody to repeat what I type in there. And so, Kitty's Collectibles
Yeah.
absolutely is
So
my
funny.
favorite to be in her room and say stuff, and she will repeat it 95% of the time out loud, and then she gets embarrassed about it. So, that's probably my favorite to be in, just to misbehave. I mean, obviously, I love buying stuff from her too. It's entertaining to be in her show.
Yeah. She's wonderful.
I would say probably her. I followed a pallet sales show because of her, called Wheelers and Dealers,
Mm-hmm.
and it's actually so there's I don't know if you know who CM Coins is or not, but he has the Wheelers and Dealers show as well.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started watching it, it was him and his wife running a show together, and just hilarious,
Oh
just
my gosh.
absolutely fun to watch. And so, yeah, one of the things that he says that I'm like, oh my gosh, if I would have thought about that on her first show, I would have said it.
Oh, you
But-
do plenty.
but-
on my show.
He goes, guys, this is my first and current wife. and she gets so
like-
mad at him, like, why do you say it that way? It sounds like
Mhm.
you're planning something else. And he's
Stay
like,
in line.
Yeah.
no, it's just the truth. You're my first and current wife.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it
So-
drives her crazy.
But I would say in terms of like, watching a couple on screen interact together, they're probably my favorite. But when it comes to a single person running a show and just having a good time and just misbehaving like I like to, it's Kitty's for sure.
I could see that.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I would agree with that. I would say if I'm just chilling and want to be entertained, absolutely Kitty, because she'll sing to me. She'll turn the camera
Yes.
around and like talk to
Yes.
me. And like she does all these silly things that is so much fun. But if I want to buy anything, I got to jump in somebody else's room because she will not sell you shit. 10 minutes, like, bitch, sell me something.
Oh my gosh, she's so funny though.
Yeah, it's go to Kitty's for entertainment, go to Jones for product.
Yes.
Yeah, so different. Jones is wild in everybody's room, but his own room, it's all about business. It's, he's knocking it out.
He's so good
And
at
I
it.
do wait
but
for
he'll-
him to say goodnight to his son before I start really tearing up the red chat in his room. Because I want to be respectful to him and his, him being a dad and having his son involved with it.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as he says, "All right, son, good night," it's like it's my turn now. I got to go.
Yeah.
So, but that's one of the things that I think is one of the funniest things is how he's 100% professional, and then,
Benjamin. No.
hey, son, the other room. He's
calling
100% professional in his room, but you go to him in another chat. I mean, oh my gosh! I mean, the first thing he sees her in a show, it's like, "What's up, ho?"
Yeah,
You
what's
know.
up, ho? What's up, hooker?
So yeah, it's just it's funny because he's a completely different person outside of his his room. So
Yeah, he's
And he's a
crazy.
character.
I'd have to agree. I love Kitty's Collectible. I love y'all's show, but you said I can't choose y'all. I think the next close, which is so funny, the next close to like your energy and everything would be Vet. Like his shows are fun. He's like, I'm gonna do this. Why? America, or what does he say?
because this is fucking
This is
America.
fucking America, or like
We're home of the free.
yeah, because we're free in freedom. Like it's all it's good vibes. And then yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good streamers, but we're you didn't ask us to name a bunch off. But I love high energy interacting with the chat. I love that. So
I really like that show too because I know him and we'll talk before and after the show. It's like, dude, I don't even know why I was so nervous about it. And then I didn't know what to say, so I said this. What did you think about it? And like he's gonna
overthinking
get him
it.
to watch this. He's gonna be like, Dick, why did you talk about me like that? But it's just funny. I just thought of something. I don't know. It's whenever you actually know them, it just creates
Yeah.
so much more entertainment value.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you can feel their emotion or what they really mean, and oh yeah,
Except
for
for
sure.
most people, they try to roll with it, and they have their streamer face on, right?
Yeah.
Except for you. You're like, "I'm probably gonna be all over the place, guys," so I'm like, and then, "Oh, that's so funny," and you read everything from from the chat.
The
It's so
people
much
like it
fun.
though. It works.
Yeah. I don't know, do you have a favorite streamer? You can't say them.
You.
I don't count. I
Aw,
don't count. I don't c You are
good
with
answer.
me. We're
What can I
never
say?
mind.
We're like really cool. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I mean, I like Kitty and Jones and
Can't name anybody else, can you? Name one other person besides Kitty and Jones.
well, there's Vet and Lucky Lucian and
There we go. There we go.
Let's Go. Yeah.
Let's go. I do like
I'm
Let's
like, I have all
Go.
these cards.
I wasn't even looking until he pointed to the camera. I was like sitting here like trying to think. I don't get on because I get stuck. I get like roped in and I just it's like I can't get
Yeah.
out of the shows, and I unfortunately work 24/7 as it is pretty much.
Yeah.
There's always something to do with freedom. And I feel like there's always something that I have to undo or fix. So like
Yeah.
I will jump off because I have to go and I put in orders or like look at the next day in the schedule and make sure that this and this is done, or like get
Mhm.
ready for the next product launch or whatever we're doing. And it's like I
Yeah.
can't catch a break or get back to a new norm because things just keep changing or something happens. And so like recently for the last 2 or 3 months, I don't think I've gotten on any shows. Like he's lucky if he can get me to do a show because it's just been so
Yeah.
hectic and crazy.
And
And
she's
so
always working,
yeah.
which is good. I tell her, make me that money, mama. That's right.
I say like when we get on shows and they're like, "Where y'all been?" I'm like, "Someone's got to pay for his pet rock collection,"
Pretty much. Pretty much.
We need to see that, please.
Yeah. But
All right.
Wait, did you answer, Blake? Who's your favorite?
yeah.
Okay, I did mention how
He did mention
I
things.
like buying from Jones and watching Kitty. I can't say Vet, that's cheating, I feel like. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a favorite because I kind of have a group of favorites because there's so many people. Because obviously I like the gold and silver bullion type of realm of streamers, and I don't really watch anything else on whatnot.
Yeah.
So if you're in my little circle of friends, you're like the only people I actually care about. And I feel like if you jump into our show, your show, Jones or Kitty, you're going to see the same amount of people. Like there's going to be the ghost vets there, which I really like. But I got in one of their
Southerns
shows.
are awesome too.
Yes, we really like Southern and Miss Southern. They're the only ones we met in person. But one time I was in
Yeah.
Ghost Bet's show, and I might have been drinking, and his little kid comes on and starts asking all these trivia questions, and then their little kid comes in and he'll hold something to the camera and he'll be like, "You see this? You see that?"
Oh,
And it's like it's cute. I was like, "Oh my god, I love this kid." And then somebody was like, "Bro, you can't say that." I was like, "Oh no, I'm a pedophile. Damn it."
oh my God.
Because I'm just laughing at him because it's like I'm a dad, and then like can't
Yes.
love little boys on the internet. Yes, So I don't know.
Well,
I
when you
kind
say
of
it that way, no.
basically all the streamers that are in all of each other's chats because I really like the community. That's why I feel
Mhm.
like if I wanted to buy silver, I can go to JM, SD, Hero, Monument, Atmex. I can buy silver. But I
Mhm.
would rather jump in somebody's shows like y'all's and be like, all right, he just said something dumb, so I'm gonna tip him. Or they said he needed $40 for this, I'm gonna give him $40 for it. It's less about growing the stack and more about, like I like this guy, so I want him to do another
Yeah.
show. So that's
Yeah.
kind of the way I look at it.
Definitely.
Well, I don't want to take y'all up all night and give y'all the opportunity to exit gracefully if you want to. I would say this has been a great conversation. I definitely appreciate y'all doing this. If y'all don't have any more subject topics or questions, if you don't have anything, I'll give y'all the option. I'll go as long as y'all want to. If Desert, I'll steal your man all night long. But
I
I don't want to
know.
be rude. So I'm
You
giving.
guys are
Isn't it
you guys are
crazy though? Like
adorable.
their little bromance, like he'll do that. He'll get on the phone after like a show and he'll talk to so and so for like hours. And I'm like, I guess
You're all.
got another, I'm like, I don't know what y'all talk about for that long because I can't even like hold a conversation with someone for
Don't
that
worry about
long.
my boyfriends, okay?
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're both in agreement. Like, all you gotta do is walk in topless or bottomless, and we're hanging up the phone.
Not true.
Facts,
Not true.
bro.
He says that, but
I will forget I have a phone.
Or he'll keep talking, but he's
No, don't even say that.
Yeah, bro, I
You've
got
never
you.
even done it. You've never done it, so I'll
she
call
said she
bullshit.
knows you. She knows you.
The only
So
only
she
way
knows
I
you.
even remember that a phone's in my hand is because I'm recording this shit.
whatever. You're literally you're on speakerphone and you're grabbing at me and stuff because I flashed you.
I would never. That's rude.
I mean, I don't know who you're on speakerphone with, but yeah. I mean, they're just I think it was Naked.
Naked Amish Midget? I
Because
like
he
him.
talks
He's funny.
forever. And like he'll just keep talking. Funny guy. Love him to death
Some
too.
people say that about me.
What? That you're funny?
I talk forever.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're doing right now.
But
But you're
anyway,
claiming that I molest you, like I'm some kind of pervert.
I didn't say you were a pervert.
You can't
Maybe,
molest your wife.
maybe there's a reason there's 3 X's in my name. What's up?
No, I think it's adorable because I'm sure he told you this man does not like to be on the phone. Not with me, not with his dad, not with anybody. Like, if his brother is talking to him for 7 minutes, he's talking forever. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, you just got on the phone. And then you guys will stay on for like hours and he's laughing. I'm like, he doesn't laugh at me like that when I tell him.
Because you're not funny.
Desert.
Anyway, so I think it's adorable. I'm like, oh, he has a friend. That's so cute. No, I'm just kidding.
Look, no
But,
hard feelings. No hard feelings. We all have our favorites, okay?
It's true. It's true.
Really,
It's
it's not
okay.
us.
So.
Right. Well, there's times and places for everything, and I wouldn't kiss him. I'm be honest. I wouldn't kiss you, dude. I'll hug the shit out you.
You've got nice lips. Oh no.
You're crazy.
No, I wouldn't want to see that.
No.
Look, man, we all just need a good conversation every now and then, and this has been a great one.
Oh yeah.
So again, I appreciate y'all doing this.
Definitely.
And if y'all are down, we can keep going because my shit's plugged up. So I don't know about y'all shit, but I'm gonna need a refill, and the only reason I started making an exit way because I gotta pee so bad right now. So we're gonna get off the
Go
phone, or I'm gonna be back.
ahead.
One of the two.
I don't know if you want to leave me up
Well,
here by
what do you
myself.
think?
I'd just be like, that number
Well,
there.
I think, I mean, if we ever want to do it again, I think it'd be amazing. I just worry about him because he has to get up in a few hours
Yeah.
and
Don't
has to
feel
actually drive
obligated
in
because,
his
like,
work.
he will talk forever. Don't feel obligated at all whatsoever. We can totally end it, get some rest, check on baby boy because I think he came in 2 or 3 times after.
He's probably hungry. Go feed him.
That boy came in here and farted. Like he came in like a worm. You guys will probably hear it and think it was Chris, but I swear the boy came in like a worm and farted and then ran.
Crop dusted us like crazy.
That is
He's
awesome.
definitely a boy, and just
Y'all had really good poker faces because we had no idea, none whatsoever until just now.
That is
I think I was
awesome.
like, get out.
All right, if he was a streamer, he would be my favorite streamer. That is awesome.
Yeah. Well, we could talk forever. We could tell you a million stories, truly. You guys are so amazing, easy to talk to. So we should definitely do this again.
All right.
But we'll let you go pee. We'll let him get some rest. I guess I have to get up early too for work, but and my work is boring. It's on the computer, and so I'll definitely like doze off if I don't get enough sleep.
Well, good. We
But,
did not even touch on what y'all do, and I don't know if that's something that we want to record on the internet or not, but I think we still have plenty of topics we could discuss. We pretty much covered who y'all are, how y'all got started, and a lot of marriage and parenting stuff. So I think there's plenty of things that we can make around to, and it sounds like a commitment. So we'll do this again.
Roped y'all in.
Yes.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Well, good.
Y'all set the hook. We got it.
Sounds good to me.
Well, thank
that
y'all.
works. We're good. We can do that.
Yep. Thank y'all. Sexy ass shirts, and we'll see y'all again.
Oh yeah.
No.
You've got nipples on his. I love it.
Nice nipples on his.
Yeah. Okay, I just have to say really fast. I know I had to pee, but just so it's on record, because it was so funny to me when I was making the design and I asked you, I had like originally put stars over it, and I was like, okay, what do you think? I can, I can keep the stars, I can remove the star, whatever, whatever, and I can change the color. And your response was, love the gray, hate the stars. Like, and I showed him, I was like laughing so hard. Okay, show the nipples, they gotta be free.
Exactly.
I
I was about to say, free the nips is like his motto. So
Well, I'm not like I wouldn't say you ever catch me marching with the feminists or anything, but I do believe in some level of equality, and I think if you ever go to Europe, and I got to tell y'all a story. The first time I ever went to Europe, that was really fun. But I feel like, look, if my chunky, hairy ass can go to the public beach or the neighborhood pool or whatever and let my nipples free, well, at least let the
Why
pretty
can't
ones
we?
let their nipples free. Like what the hell? Nobody wants to see this. Like they want to see that. And I'm like, man, what? How would it? Well, is that going to like the poles are going to shift? We're going to hit by a comet, have a massive corona ejection, or we're going to have like some kind of like the biggest volcano eruption or earthquake that takes half America away. Like we're going to have COVID-26 or something. Like, what's wrong with nipples?
There's gonna be some ejections, but
Eruptions. There's gonna be some eruptions.
and some ejections, but it won't be from a volcano.
Like I don't know where that comes from though. You know what I mean? Like
Modesty, I guess. I don't know.
I just feel like you can go certain places on the planet and it's just like, yeah, she got nipples, he got nipples, everybody got nipples. That's like we got knees, you know what I mean? Like at one point in time, you saw a dude's knees, you'd be like normal. You saw her knees and you'd be like, oh my God, the devil. And
Yeah,
I'm just
bleach
like,
your eyes. Yeah.
I'm like, look, dude, I'll let my weenus fly, like I don't know. I can't comprehend the problem with nipples. And if it was just made normal, then we wouldn't all freak out about it. It's kind of like the drinking age in Europe. You see a nice couple out with their kids. The kid's 14. He's having a glass of wine with mom and dad. No big deal. You see that out in America, it's like, oh, call
Call
CPS. Yeah, take that,
Yeah.
kid. He's
Yeah.
drinking the poison.
Yeah, that would be like a positive desensitizing. Yeah, I mean, like, well, that's why like the porn industry is so lucrative because it is so taboo to see it out in the open. So they probably don't want it to be that way. But if we did, then, we wouldn't have all kinds of crazy behavior probably because it'd be like, oh, there's the boob. No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say let's start round 2. Desert CP and Sexy's podcast. We're gonna start with the nipples next time, and we're gonna see where this
Nipples.
goes because
Yep.
I can see us just getting real deep conversation.
Sounds good. We'll discuss different sizes,
Different
bumps,
colors,
Yeah. Oh, I have a funny story with that too, so we'll save it though. That'll be fun. Okay.
Oh, now I want to know. Now I want to know.
Well, when you're a kid and all you see is yourself, and then I know this, I hope my sister never sees this, but I remember seeing, and I won't say who, one of my sisters changing, and I was like, your nipples are dark. Like, there's different colored nipples. I had no idea. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I probably looked like an idiot, like staring at her nipples when I was just like, no, that's disgusting. You are so nasty. That I literally said my sister. And so, anyways, I was just like, whoa, why does yours look so different? You're so gross.
That is great.
That's another thing we need to do. We need to start sharing some stories 'cause I think that really adds perspective. Because I got so many stories of how I discovered the real world. There's so many things you assume whenever you're a child,
yeah.
and then when you finally figure out that women don't pee out of their buttholes, it's like an epiphany for you as a young man, a young boy. And I was like, holy shit. It blew my mind for a long time. Like I didn't know who to go to because I'm not talking to my mother, right? And then my sister, so I'm like, I'm over here staring at other chicks in my class, like, well, goddamn, can you imagine? You know what I mean? Oh,
Well, you just look at that.
the physics behind it. I mean, mine
Yeah.
just hangs out, so that's easy to understand. But what?
Yeah.
Like, how does gravity affect that? Guys, it's just so. Anyway, this is going to get weird quick.
It always does with me. I
Yeah,
feel
with
like,
her, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a magnet for things to get that way, for sure.
I'm just like, let's just say it. It's no big deal,
It
Well,
kind
that's
of.
like there's all those. Oh, I was gonna say all those funny videos about guys when they find out like girls have 3 holes and they're like, "What? You don't pee out of your vagina?"
Yeah, when I figured out like what all those wrappers were in our bathroom, because I have a sister that's older than me, and there eventually were these weird wrappers, and I took out the trash in the house,
Oh no.
and I'm like, what the fuck is all this stuff? And like,
I can't imagine.
yeah, and then you start hearing phone conversations of an older teenage sister, and there she's talking to other teenage women. And at the time, like I'm innocent as can be.
He's totally like picking up the phone, putting it on mute, listening into their
I'm like,
conversation.
okay, well, so there's this problem with punctuation. Every now and then they either don't know what a period is or how to use it or when to use it, or like they were at school and the period came and I was like, I use periods all the time and I'm not even that smart. Like,
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so cute.
I mean, there had to be times in your life when y'all figured things out. Like, I remember I had a buddy, and he was really, really concerned with pubic hair. And I didn't know shit about pubic hair. You know what I mean? So he asked his mother, and she went into this long, drawn out explanation. Oh, wait. He has a pubic hair story?
No.
Go ahead. We'll tell you.
Anyway,
No,
and
that's a
his
long
mother
story.
tried to
That's a story for a
explain-
podcast. The next one.
His mother tried to explain pubic hair to him, and I was like, that don't fucking make sense. And we ended up understanding pubic hair from finding our other friend's stepdad's Playboy collection, and it all made sense.
Oh my gosh. I hear
understood.
you.
We understood.
I
Well,
hear
since
you.
then,
I
I've
could
been a
tell you
fan of
more about
Playboy.
that too.
You got a story about that?
Oh, just like I never had the sex talk and found out what that was because my our babysitter at the time thought it'd be hilarious while she's watching little kids to invite her friends over, smoke some weed, and put on porn. I swear I was in like first grade, and we're like, I remember the movie.
Bro, we should have been friends back then. I'd love her number.
But was it like
Wild.
HBO Max? You know,
There's different levels to it. That's true.
that's like way back when. But like it used to be on cable TV. You know, the late
Yeah,
night
couldn't
whatever.
tell you. Yeah, there was Full Bush. I remember
Full
that.
bush. So I never had the sex
Full.
talk either. And
Yeah.
I ended up, through other boys at, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, we tried to figure out the world together. It was like a power of combined minds. And some people had, sisters, and some people had their daddy's magazines, and some people, like, I remember, I don't know what grade I was in. Maybe like 8th grade. I finally got a computer, and I had like a free AOL disc from Walmart. I stashed in my
Oh,
pocket,
yeah.
and I was able
Oh,
to
no.
hook to the phone cable from my wall, right? Late at night when nobody was on the phone, because you can't dial up when someone's on the phone. And I downloaded, it took me like 8 hours to download a set of titties, and I saved it to a floppy drive. Bro, that floppy drive was
Floppy
underneath my
titties.
mattress, and I'd have to like fire up the computer, which took 10 minutes, and then I get my floppy drive. I'm like, bro, and then you never know. Like one day I would just, I would have some whenever I want them. But back in the day, that internet was pretty cool. But yeah, we just figured out so many things. But the person who taught me the most, and because of y'all's age group, maybe y'all know who I'm talking about. But did y'all ever watch Sex Talk with Sue? All right.
No.
Well, y'all were innocent children. I'm sorry for ruining y'all's childhood.
Oh, this poor guy. He was like, how old were you when your dad?
Oh, I got the full on. I knew everything at 7. I was like 7 years old.
It's a funny story. If you need to go pee, then maybe do that.
I forgot I needed to pee. I kind of want to hear
Need to
this.
go pee though.
All right, you go. I'll hear the story. I'll tell you about it later.
Well, quick version then.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
So I don't know if you guys ever watched the very first City Slickers. And at the beginning of the movie, they're all getting on the plane to go to that dude ranch, right? And Daniel Stern's character was dating a younger woman. And Billy Crystal goes to him and says, man, they keep getting younger and younger. Before you know it, you'll be dating sperm. And my mom busted out laughing so hard. And I'm wondering, like, why is that so funny? So I go, Mom, what's sperm? And she went from like a full-on laugh to like dead silent.
And how old were you?
I was 7.
Okay.
And so she goes, you need to ask your dad when he gets home. So I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm in trouble. So he gets home and we're sitting at dinner. I mean, I didn't ask. I'm like, I'm going to get in trouble if I ask. So we're sitting at dinner and I still remember what we're eating. We're eating spaghetti with meat sauce. And she goes to my dad and, we're just having a conversation, all of us. She goes to my dad, Eddie, your son needs to ask you something. So he stops, he looks at my brother. So what's up? And he goes, I don't have anything to ask you.
Not me.
And my mom goes, no, your other son. And so he looks at me and he's like, what do you got to ask? And I'm like feeling sick to my stomach. I'm going to get my ass whipped. Like, when I ask this question, I'm going to get my ass whipped. And I said, well, Mom was watching a movie earlier and I asked her what sperm was. And he went from like a full on, I'm about to take a big old bite of spaghetti to fork straight to the plate. Sat for like 20 seconds thinking what he needs to do. And he goes, I'm going to come get you guys here in a minute. And he looks at me and my brother and tells us both that. And so he goes upstairs and we had an encyclopedia set. And he gets out sexual reproduction, human anatomy, and I can't remember what else. But anyways, he had all that stuff laid out on the floor. and he calls, and there's more to it, but calls us upstairs, and he gives us the whole talk. I mean, he has a tube sock out, rolled up, and he's like, "You're gonna have this thing. It's called a condom. You want to put it on? You put it on this way. You know." I mean, he told us everything, like
Good dad.
everything. Was that?
Props. That's a good dad.
I mean,
Truly, yes.
I mean, for real. But like at 7 years old, I mean, we knew it all. I mean,
And you know
I mean,
what?
he's like,
So, and in your last show, or it was one of y'all shows, I think he showed it like Valab was his name. So next time
Valid.
I'm gonna ask him at Valab, what is sperm?
Please do. Please
that
do.
would be hilarious. He'd probably call me like right after this show.
He's a funny guy. Like, I think that's what makes it so much more funny to me. Because like picturing him like really stressed and like trying to like explain literally from start to finish
Yeah,
everything.
start to finish. He's like talking about the finish and everything.
Because the way he explains it, he's like when he says like, and your pee-pee's gonna get like this, and then like he said he does like the I can't.
So,
I mean, for real, like,
record it for your kids when it's time for them to have the talk, and then you can just watch.
we need to have a sex education podcast with Daddy DJ Daddy. I'll be like, at the lab, I have a tube sock and a cucumber. What next?
I mean, for real, like he went like, you're gonna get older, and there's gonna be a girl that's gonna make it's gonna make your pecker get hard like this, and then he's like, so what you want to do is you want to make sure you wear protection, and it's called a condom, and he gets the tube sock out, and he's like, and this is how you put it on. So he's rolling the tube sock on his arm, and like telling us everything. It's like,
Oh my god.
I don't know why I needed to know this. I'm sorry I ever asked what sperm was.
Can you imagine? Their little baby faces like, what?
So yeah, no, we got the talk early, so we knew.
Yeah.
We knew.
Okay, what age should you get the talk?
Okay, I gotta go.
I'll say, I know, I'll say this. I think it depends on your child and when they ask you, like, I'm very firm, like, the parents should have that talk. And like our daughter, we kind of did like a overview of the talk because of a story in the Bible, actually. I'm like all proud she's reading her Bible. And then the story of Lot and his daughters. Do you know that story? Okay, well basically, Sodom and Gomorrah, right? So everybody's really corrupt in this town, and he's like, get your brother out of here, or I'm gonna do the fire and brimstone thing, right? And so Lot gets out of there with just his daughters, and so they go into this cave. Well, the daughters, who knows why, but they're like, we're never gonna see another man. Let's like get impregnated by our dad. But in the Bible it says, so they laid with their dad. So our poor daughter, she's like, so they laid with their dad and they got pregnant? And I'm like, oh my gosh, no. Because, she would come sleep in our bed with us. So she's like, you lay next to your dad? So we're like, no. So we gave kind of like the overview. So sometimes it's situational and like, you just got to be honest. But
Yep, that would creep me out if I was a little girl too. And I do remember that story now because he didn't just get out with his daughters and himself. Like they tried to bring mama, but she wouldn't listen, and she turned around and turned to stone. That's when I figured out, like, bro, it's in the Bible. Women don't listen.
Truly. Well, and you know what I think happened was, I don't think it was like God turned her to stone. I think it was she turned around, she got a piece of that fire and brimstone, and she turned to ash, right? Or she turned like it killed her, So
I wasn't there, so I'm not sure.
Either way, she didn't listen.
Either way, she didn't listen and got fucked up.
She died. She did.
All I heard was laying with somebody's dad, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm glad I left.
That's my sister.
So
no, just kidding.
I always think of Sodom and Gomorrah when I hear that, I think Las Vegas, and I'm like, man, it's so much fun.
We love Vegas, by the way.
Y'all go to Vegas?
We love Vegas. We've been a whole lot.
All right. Well, next show we're definitely gonna talk about that because we're Vegas people too.
Yes. How about we go and make a podcast there? That would be super cool.
Bro, yeah. When's y'all's
A
next trip to
reason to
Vegas?
go. I don't know, but we need to go.
Yeah, we do. There's like you can go as many times as you want to, and there's still more things to do.
Oh
Every
yeah.
time we go, we're like, oh, we'll have to do that next time. Like we plan to do it, and then something else comes up. We're like, we still didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly how we are.
But
Yeah.
when they describe it in the Bible, you're kind of like, that's Vegas, bro. Like we have the same shit.
I don't know. The way they describe some of it is pretty terrible. So.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't remember the whole story, but
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
now I'm kind of thinking like, man, is that where the whole step bro trend came from? Okay, so
I don't
I'm the only one
know.
who watches porn here. All right.
Sorry. I guess so.
Y'all never heard? Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, this
Also
is awkward now.
Also missed them.
I'll be honest. I don't watch it. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, okay. Disclaimer. There was and still is a trend of genres in that realm of content making. As long as and there's also ones of like people getting stuck underneath the bed or in a washing machine or anything. There's the internet, okay? And then there's certain things that you discover by being on the internet. And one of them, and I'm just, man, it's great talking to y'all tonight, dude. I love this conversation. It's been great. And
We're done.
we're going to have to do number 2. Podcast number 2. And so, yeah, appreciate y'all, and I'll send y'all links when this gets uploaded. And now, CP fan club and Desert Willow fans, they can check out and get to know y'all better. So it's gonna be great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. We really do appreciate it.
Seriously, for thinking that it'd be cool to have us on is awesome. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank y'all for sparing the time. We appreciate it. I know we
Of
tried
course,
to do
it was
this
really
multiple
fun.
times and schedules and all the things, but it was fun. I'm glad we got to do it.
Me too. It was really fun. You guys are awesome.
Bye. Bye. Y'all have a good night.
All right. You have a good night.
All right.